Okay, so the next part of this series, we're going to be creating, we're going to be talking to our database. So we're going to use a tool for that called Sequel, Sequel, and go to their website, read their documentation. They make it really nice to uh, uh, talk to your database, get data, and they have a very good reputation. I'm just learning about it right now, so I just figured this would be a good time to play around with something new. So, and there's also this gem here called Sinatra Sequel, which makes it kind of nice to run these migrations, like create tables and stuff like that. So I basically copied Sinatra Sequel's example, and yeah, so all you got to do is go to your gem file and add these three gems: Sequel, Sinatra Sequel, and SQLite 3, and then create a file called dbconfig.rb, and pretty much as the instructions say, require Sinatra, and I added a few of these plugins. We'll get to that in a minute, but for now, what's important is that these migrations will happen, and we will create a table where we could store our data. So in this case, I want to create a users table because we're going to authenticate a user, because only a user will be able to create pages and manage our website. So that's what I did. I created a migration for the users here. And then ultimately, last thing is there's this line right here where I go through the directory that is one directory down from my file, one directory up, so it's the web root, and into app models. So I'm saying here, any model, I want you to require the model. And our models, we're going to create a model called user.rb. Now, all you actually need to talk to the database is pretty bare bones. So let's create something new here that I haven't already added a bunch of logic to. So I already created this table here, the users table. Let's create a test table. And let's say that we are going to be storing, I'm going to be uploading these videos to YouTube, and then I'm going to be storing, I'm going to be displaying the videos on my website. So I'm going to want to keep track of which videos are where, and maybe we can make comments about the videos, etc., etc. So why don't I create a videos table? So there's going to be a name. How about a description? How about the URL of the video? And that's it. So now, if we include this file in Ruby, it's going to run automatically. We're going to have a videos table. So we have the IRB, the Interactive Ruby Interpreter, and we're going to require our file dbconfig. And it should create this videos table for us. I already created the users table, that's why it's not going to run. So it ran the migration, it created videos. So now how do I get the videos? At this point, the system doesn't know what videos are. So why don't we go ahead and create a video model. So now, if I restart this, notice the migration doesn't run because it knows it's already run. And I should be able to do stuff with the video table. So let's create a video. Okay, great. Okay, so you see we created a video with no name, no description, and no URL. So we should probably throw some errors if the user tries to create, or if I try to create a video without a name. So that's where this thing comes in that we just did before. We required a plugin called validation helpers at the top of our dig.rb file. There's a whole list of Sequel plugins, and I advise you to check them out. So we want to make sure that the user puts something as a name. So this is how you do it. You put in a validate. Sorry, looking again. Okay. I think that's all that we need. So we need to make sure that we have a name, URL, and description. Basically, everything is required. So we don't need this here. Should always have a name, URL, and description. So let's restart, fire it again, and let's try to create a video. Great, so we get an error. Name is not present, URL is not present, description is not present. So we have to create it like this. Okay, so now I can get the last video, and I can pull up its name, my awesome video. All right, that's it. That's how to talk to the database with SQL, loading it into the Sinatra application. So next, what we're going to do is first we actually have to create a user, and a user will be authenticated with the username and password, so that will be for myself, so that I can go in and I can add these videos from my web series. And So that will be the next 2 videos. All right, thank you very much. Bye-bye.